My name's Jim. I work over at Channel 9. I was at the walk last year. We had good weather, a little on the chilly side, but you know what? It's going to be much warmer this year, right? If anything shows what we're doing right now. Once again, so glad to have you here. How's the lunch? Is it good? Okay, you know? Yeah, exactly. Thank you, everybody, that helped put that together. We are going to spend a little time making sure that you know more about NAMI as well, some of the people that are in the organization, of course. And for the last 18 years, Mary Issa has been a part of NAMI in Johnson County. She started as executive director in December of 2013. She's a graduate of the University of Iowa, master's degree in rehabilitation counseling. She serves on several advisory boards. She keeps up to date with mental health services impacting those that are served by NAMI and Our Place Peer Recovery Center. So Mary, please come on up here. Mary Issa, telling us a little bit about what she does.
Oh, good afternoon now to everyone. I am so glad to see all of you here. Every year you get a little nervous about planning an event if anybody will show up, and we have a room full of people, so we're very, very happy about that. I'd like to take a moment and thank Olivia, who just, I think, walked out of the room. So we'll give her a round of applause when she comes back in. But here she is. Olivia, we'd like to thank you for your hard work. Which she's still working to put this event together and for the walk as well. So I'd like to take a moment and recognize our staff. And so if they're feeling that they can, stand up and be recognized. And we'll go ahead. Is Ian in the room too? Ian's with NAMI Lynn County, and we'll just recognize staff for both NAMI Johnson County and NAMI Lynn County. And then I'd like to take a moment and recognize all of our volunteers who volunteer on many different levels, from teaching our classes to facilitating support groups, volunteering in the office, and some of our NAMI board members, which I think they'll be recognized later as well. But if you guys could all stand up and be recognized for all your dedication to NAMI Johnson County and Lynn County. Okay, and then we have a few student interns here. You can just kind of wave and be like, yeah. They're up front here. Recognize them as well. So I'd like to thank NAMI Lynn County. I am serving as their interim executive director right now to help them through their transition till they find a permanent executive director. So I'm kind of making sure I give a good balance to both affiliates, but both affiliates are working hard to provide mental health services to those living in Johnson and Lynn County and the surrounding area as well. And so look for continued partnership between the two affiliates. I'm just going to take a brief moment, and for those of you that are newer to what NAMI is and what we do, we provide education, advocacy, and support for people living with mental illness as well as family members. So we do that through support groups, educational programs, and speaking engagements and tabling events in our communities. And then unique to Johnson County is our Peer Recovery Center called Our Place Peer Recovery Center. And I want to take a moment to highlight a couple of our newer initiatives that we've been working on this last year that we've received some extra funding for. And so you'll be hearing more and more about this. We're working, trying to activate our NAMI on campus at the University of Iowa, and then exploring possibilities with other colleges nearby, and then high schools in our area as well. And so our student interns have been helping with that, and we're getting some really good traction on getting things going around that. And then we also have funding, and we call this a program called Clean and Healthy. And we are going to be going out and helping individuals who've been struggling keeping their home or apartment clean, and just helping them with a one-day kind of getting them back on track, be it cleaning, organizing, laundry, whatever they might need, just to give them a little help with that. So those are two of the things we've been kind of newer initiatives we've been working on, and I just wanted to share those out with everyone. So I thank you for coming today and learning more about our walk and how important our walk is to our programming for NAMI Johnson County and NAMI Lynn County. Thank you.
See, and you can see how busy she is. The only time we get a picture of her was when she was driving between Lynn County and Johnson County, right? That's a busy woman. Ellie Jo is the current NAMI Johnson County Board President, serving her third year on the board. When she isn't volunteering, she's working at Edwards Jones as an office administrator. And I love this line. She enjoys spending time with her family. Wouldn't it be funnier if she said she can't stand them anymore? She loves her family. She has a spunky 5-year-old, and he is much of the reason she says that she believes in the cause, and she wants to see changes happen in the mental health arena for everyone. So please welcome Ellie Jo Wilson.
Hopefully you can see me over the podium. Welcome again to the 2024 NAMI Walk Kickoff Luncheon. Seeing you here shows there's hope in helping our peers. As Shannon Alder says, never give up on someone with a mental illness. When I is replaced by we, illness becomes wellness. Over the past few years, people have asked, what made me want to join the NAMI Johnson County Board? The answer seems simple, but it's far from simple. My goal when joining was to help break the endless stigma around mental health. As I'd been listening, reading, and looking at places to even begin touching that goal, I came across the NAMI Johnson County Board. And seeing the work they do made it very clear to me where I needed to go. With continuing efforts to bring awareness, support, and advocacy to our area, the board brings so much heart and dedication to the cause we are all here to support. I hope one day to show my 5-year-old little boy that no disease or illness needs to be looked at any differently. As humans, we may one day suffer many different health concerns. Statistics always speak much louder than some words and have an impact on why I joined the board. They work tirelessly to break the statistics, to try and to make even a small dent. Some of these statistics you've likely heard, or you'll likely hear again and again. And some of them came from 2022 and 23, so they may be a little outdated. But I think they express our dire need for more. Iowa has 64 state-managed inpatient beds to treat our adults. That's roughly 2 beds per 100,000 residents, ranking Iowa 51st in the nation, dead last on the list of 50 states in the District of Columbia. 1 in 5 U.S. adults experience mental illness every year. That's roughly 473,000 adults in Iowa, which is about 3 times the population of Cedar Rapids. It is estimated that more than 84,000 Iowans live with severe mental illness, with about 35,000 of them actually seeking treatment. Based on Iowa's population, we should have 416 inpatient mental health beds for just our children, and we have 125. We have the 13th highest suicide rate among adolescents. But one step forward for our students is that legislators wanted the crisis line number put it on the back of their school IDs. As you can see, mental health in our youth and in our state alone is a significant problem. I recently completed the Ending the Silence training program through NAMI to become a program presenter. And that training alone has opened my eyes even more to the crisis our young people are facing if changes don't start happening. As this year's board president, I was hoping to bring new ideas to the table, show people that no matter your age, faith, race, we all hold the same risks as facing potential mental health concerns. We all likely know that one person who is suffering out loud, or maybe one on the inside who is hurting and not knowing what to do. I want to be a safe place for those people, to reach out when they need help or to show others what that help might look like. I'm the farthest thing from a doctor or a mental health professional, but what I am is someone who suffers with high anxiety, but was lucky enough to have a family member who is here with me today, and a terrific family doctor who continues to support and stand up for me. They encourage me to find treatments, and I hope someday everyone has that support, and we can begin to see the break in that stigma, and seeing acceptance of mental health issues as a whole and providing access to needing treatments. I'll apologize in advance. I left this story for the end because I get a little emotional, but my best friend married a classmate of mine many years ago. He was a brother, a son, friend, husband, and a decorated Marine. He at times seemed to hide his struggles behind his charismatic smile, but his pride to get help or to talk to someone got significantly in his way. Finding himself one evening in what had to be a very dark and heavy cloud, feeling alone and not knowing what to do. Little did he know that the help he was looking for was sitting next to him on the couch. The morning his mother found him, the crisis number was the support sitting next to him on the couch. And later to find that he actually had started to dial the phone number, likely just before he shot himself and ended the suffering he had been facing silently. My consistent goal in life has always been to make one person smile in a day. And I hope that I can make that one person feel that they are not alone. If I can do that, I've begun to make a small dent in the fear people may get in asking for help. And I'll leave you with this. It doesn't have to take over your life. It doesn't have to define you as a person. It's just important you ask for help and know it's not a sign of weakness.
Yeah, those are the type of advocates you want in any organization. Hey, our honorary chair is University of Iowa President Barbara Wilson. And I apologize, but President Wilson is not able to be here to present today's luncheon. She does have a pre-recorded video to show the NAMI Walks community. She says she looks forward to leading the walk on May 4th, of course, at Terry Trueblood. So, ladies and gentlemen, University of Iowa President Barbara Wilson.
Hello, I'm Barb Wilson, President of the University of Iowa, and I thank you for your dedication to mental health in our community. Mental health and well-being are a high priority for me, one I am particularly passionate about. According to a recent national study by the American College Health Association, 77% of undergraduate students reported experiencing moderate to serious psychological distress, and about 1/3 have been diagnosed with anxiety or depression. I am proud that the University of Iowa has made mental health and well-being a top priority in our strategic plan. So far, we've implemented a 24/7 phone, text, and chat support line for students, and we just made it available for staff and faculty as well. We also have an embedded mental health professional in many of our colleges. And we've developed tools for faculty and staff to address mental health challenges that our students are facing. In addition to developing these programs, I'm also excited about our plans for a new well-being and mental health center in the Iowa Memorial Union. It will bring together clinical health services, mental health counseling, wellness programs, and student care resources such as our food pantry, all in one place. But of course, good mental health and well-being are necessary not just for students, but for our faculty and staff, as well as for our entire community. At the University of Iowa, we have excellent support programs, such as Live Well, and these programs provide courses and 24/7 videos on a wide range of topics, including mindfulness, resilience, attention, stress, sleep, and more. And the Employee Assistance Program continues to provide confidential short-term counseling and referrals. The university's desire to support mental health goes far beyond our campus, too. For example, we're very proud of the recently established Scanlon Center for School Mental Health, a partnership between the College of Education and the Iowa Department of Education. In addition to the $20 million commitment from the state of Iowa, the center received a $15 million gift from the Scanlon Family Foundation, the largest gift in our College of Education's history. The Scanlon Center provides social, emotional, behavioral, and psychological services to all of Iowa's K-12 schools across 99 counties. But one of the greatest strengths of the University of Iowa is our amazing relationship with our local community. We are a big, comprehensive university, but small enough to enjoy a warm community feel, both on campus and in our Johnson County communities. We also want to bring mental health awareness and support to the people here at home, which is why I'm so excited to be the honorary walk leader for the 2024 NAMI Johnson County Fundraiser Walk. NAMI is blessed with amazing people among its board, staff, membership, and donors. Everyone involved is part of a very special effort to provide support, education, advocacy, and understanding to thousands of our friends and neighbors living with mental health issues. The annual walk is a significant way to help ensure that NAMI Johnson County continues to thrive. I thank each of you for your part in making this year's walk a success and in supporting the mental health of our community members. I can't wait to join you for this year's NAMI walk, and I will see you in May. Thank you.
Yep. So it's going to be a good walk. I mean, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Alonda, you're all set? Oh my gosh. I just met Alonda, and I'm looking forward to this speech. It's going to be fun. Alonda Pierce was born in Denver, Colorado. That's okay. She moved to Iowa at the age of 8, so even then you knew. Even then you knew. She has a master's degree in criminal justice and marriage and family therapy, is the program director for Limitless Potential, where she works with individuals with intellectual disabilities. A diverse background she has, working with families of all races, ethnicities, and socioeconomic backgrounds. She joined NAMI Lynn County almost 3 years ago after serving as a NAMI family-to-family facilitator. She also has a spouse who has mental health diagnoses. Alonda hopes to give insight to her fellow board members about issues that plague those who may not look like them, who may not speak like them, who may not live where they live, or have very different backgrounds. And that's what you need on a board, isn't it? Alonda, come on up here, tell us your story, and tell us why NAMI is so important.
Good afternoon. I've been, I'm a wing it kind of person sometimes because I really didn't know what to say and what not to say, but I'm going to wake you guys up. So, yes, I moved to Iowa when I was 8. I did not have a choice. My grandmother married her high school sweetheart, and he lived in Iowa. And I wouldn't leave here. Well, can I be a snowbird? You know, those people that fly south. Okay, I want to be one of those people. I want to be a snowbird and live in Texas where my sister is and be there in the wintertime so I don't have to shovel and I don't have the freezing and below zero. You know, I was in Colorado here just recently. My grandmother, who raised me, who moved to Iowa, she passed away at 91. And it wasn't cold, but it was cold. And I didn't take a heavy coat because I figured it's Colorado. It's weather in Colorado. And even though they had snow in Colorado, snow melts. It melts right away. So I took one of these. Actually, I took the sweater I have on, and I took another one that was orange, my grandmother's favorite color. And everybody is looking at me like, aren't you cold? I was like, I live in Iowa where it was like 35 below a couple weeks ago. And they're like, oh my God, we would be freezing, da 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 da. I was like, that's why you guys never go any further than Colorado. So, but it was interesting. Anywho, so my life has been surrounded by people with a mental illness. Unfortunately, I didn't know that and know that there was a name or term until I got older, much older, grown, married. I knew that, you know, in families, you know, I'll just say families that look like me, you know, black people, y'all know, you got that crazy uncle that's in the back room that stares at a broken TV, there's no picture on it, or you've got, you know, great grandma that's upstairs and nobody really bothers her because she snaps at people all the time. And you got that one weird cousin who just kind of stands around and talks to himself. Those people, we were always told, oh, that's just your, and that's just your, but that's just your. But they never told us what was wrong with them. It was like an unspoken secret. And we're like, you know, now I'm looking at it like, we should have known this and they could have gotten some help a long time ago. But again, it's the stigma. I have a son who will be 27 years old, and he is, follow me, he is my biological sister's son, which makes him also my nephew, who I have raised. And his biological family lives in Waterloo, you know, down the street. And I kept telling him he went to visit, and I said, no, he needs to be back for his appointment, Now, I'm in this world, and I know all about, you know, the stigma and all that stuff. And his biological father was just like, well, why does he got to go to the doctor? What's wrong with him? And I said, no, it's his therapist, not thinking anything of it. My son comes home, and he was so mad at me because I had told that side of his family that he was seeing a therapist. So, of course, in their mind, there's something wrong with him. No, he had ADHD, ODD, and depression. That's what was wrong with him. But he was so upset with me because now, not that it was a secret, because we all knew, but they didn't know. And then they made it such a big deal, he didn't go back and visit them for a year. And I said, that's really too bad, because they're uneducated and don't understand that you are the way you are because they are the way they are. Nobody wanted to acknowledge it. So then, you know, and I get married, have no idea that, you know, my husband is, I probably better not put it that way, that my husband is crazy and that there's something wrong with him, and I didn't know what was really going on with him, but I knew it was something. Now, I come from a background where I know people who, you know, I've got alcoholics in my family, I have pill poppers in my family. I think meth had just come on the scene a few years before this. And so, you know, alcohol, smoking pot, you know, I got all that. I understood it. It wasn't until, about a year into my marriage that I realized that my husband was a crack addict. Had no idea. And I'm looking around thinking, what's wrong with me? Because I'm cute, I'm small, I'm itty bitty, I live on my own, I bought my own house, I drive my own car, I adopted my nephew, and then I married you? Oh, no. There's something wrong. Like, where did I go wrong with this? Because that's not the way my life is supposed to be set up. I'm supposed to be married and happy, and we're traveling, and, you know, if kids come, great, but I didn't need those, either. And my whole world was shattered because it blindsided me. I had no idea what was going on. And every time I would ask him, why do you do these things? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why do you do this? He would say, I don't know. I don't know what makes me do these things. So he went to a doctor, and we knew he had anxiety and depression, so he was on medication for that. But he had been on that medication for years. And my husband, I signed him and my sister up to come today, kind of skipping around here, because he is a male facilitator for the peer-to-peer group, and my sister is also one too. So they should have both been here, but life happens. So anyway, trying to make this fast. So my husband has, like I said, I knew that those things, the depression and the anxiety were an issue, but again, I'm looking like, this is not what I signed up for. I don't like roller coasters, and that's my life. We've been on a roller coaster. Didn't know why, what, whom. I didn't know if I was going to come home and he'd be there, come home or not be there. Got to the point where I have a daughter that's, she'll be 23. And so it got to a point where they would just call me, Mom, Dad's gone. Oh, okay. I got to the point where I didn't care. Whatever. It's warm outside. It's summertime. He's good. He'll be fine. And what he would do is the voices, now that we know what it is, the voices would be like, ooh, she's gone. Yeah, she'll be mad, but you can go. And he would jet. All he did was walk First Avenue from wherever he started. He would walk all the way to Marion and back. Then he'd go all the way to the opposite end of town and back. And then he decided one day, he was in between the two hospitals, Mercy Hospital and St. Luke's, now Unity Point. And he decided, I need to do something. So he walks to St. Luke's, and they diagnose him. They call me. I'm like, well, I'm glad he's there. That's lovely. That's beautiful. I'm glad y'all got him. And okay, let me know what you need me to do. I didn't care. I was over him, the whole shebang. So he called me a day or two later, and he says, I have a different diagnosis. I think I was misdiagnosed. Okay. I still don't care. I'm mad because this was not my life. This is not what I wanted. This is not what I signed up for. I'm supposed to be smooth sailing. I'm supposed to be able to do what I want to do, go where I want to go. But no, I've got this person that is dragging me down, and I was upset. So I said, okay, well, just tell your doctor to call me and tell me whatever. So my husband was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder with a bipolar component, anxiety, and depression. And I said, what? I said, okay, schizoaffective, doesn't that have something to do with schizophrenia? Doesn't that mean that there's voices? Yeah. So you mean to tell me that the voices have been telling you to take off and to disappear and to go do this and to go do that? Yeah. I said, but all these years I've asked you what happened, what makes you do these things, what makes you leave and take off? And all you would say is, I don't know. I said, if you'd have said you heard voices, I've got enough education. I could have figured out that we got something going on up here. We wouldn't have had to go through this. We've been married almost 25 years. Excuse me. I would have known this early on. We could have gotten this taken care of. But he could not even put the words together to say that he was hearing voices, even though that's what was going on. And the voices were loud, and they overtalked everything and everybody. So, got him some help. He's been in and out of St. Luke's, got him on meds, which is another stickler. And Kurt, oh, that was on our phone call. I was thinking Kurt had just talked about HIPAA violations, and which he did, but that was a whole nother meeting. I get it, and this is a hard thing. And like I said, I didn't sign up for it, and I finally had to realize that when I said I do, that in sickness and in health part of your vows, I have learned it. I rewritten books about it. I dream about it. And I caution people that are getting married and say, well, what do you feel about these, in sickness and in health? Oh, yeah, that too. No, the real in sickness and in health. Do you have any idea what that is? Do you know what's going to happen if this happens or if something happens to you? Well, yeah, we'll be together. We'll stick it out. We'll stick through it. Okay. Ask me. It was the worst thing I've ever had to go through in my life. And it's not easy, but I was bound determined to stick it out. He's doing well now. Takes his meds like he's supposed to. One of the medications he even gets a shot because every time, if you don't know, because like I said, we're not doctors, but every time you miss a dose of medication, it lowers the amount of medication in your bloodstream. So he thought, okay, I can go out and be gone for 2 or 3 days, come back and get right back on my meds and I'm okay. No, you're starting from scratch because all the medication is out of your system. So the main medication that he takes comes in the form of a injection that he gets every 60 days. And it is, thank God for insurance, because that shot by itself, the last time I looked, was $3,500, just by itself. So I say all that to say, when people see me and they speak and they wave, and sometimes, like I said, I try to crack a joke. I try to make people laugh. I try to make light of things that are going on. But I have my days where I am tired. I'm worn out. And I go home and I still have a house full of people who all take medication, including me. And I'm okay with that. That's it.
NAMI Lynn County Board member Laura Jansen is currently the Community Outreach Coordinator for KCRG TV9. But she's a traitor. She is leaving us, transforming roles to the NSCA as the Director of Workforce Development. She's been on the board for NAMI Lynn County since May of 2023, supports the organizations with event coordination and fundraising. She's become a very good friend as well as a coworker. I wish her the luck that she needs as she continues her career, but I'm so mad at you. But she's my ride home. So ladies and gentlemen, Laura Jansen. I wouldn't say if I didn't mean it.
I know. Thanks, Jim. When they first made the announcement at work that I was leaving, I got an email from Jim that said, "Why are you leaving me, damn it, why?" And so he's not very happy about it. So yes, my name is Laura Jansen. I'm currently the Community Outreach Coordinator for KCRG, and that is how I connected with NAMI. I had done their walk 2 years ago, just very last minute. Just had Googled mental health related events the day before, saw that there was a walk and decided to go. And then when we supported them through Show You Care, I got more involved with the board and was convinced to join by a good friend of mine, and I'm really glad that I did. So a lot of passion that I have working with the community is helping plan events, especially since that's what I do for a job, and as well as fundraising. I love public speaking, which is strange, but I generally will volunteer to do the public speaking for nonprofit or events that people don't want to do. So it's just something that I really enjoy. The reason that I had joined NAMI Lynn County is I've been a mental health advocate for a very long time, and I first learned what mental illness was when I was 12. When I was 12 years old, my sister, myself, and my dad found our mom in our garage in the back seat of her running car. I learned at the age of 12 what suicide was. It's not something that you really bring up around the family table, especially if you don't have a reason to. And then at her funeral, I found out by accident, someone mentioned it and didn't know that we didn't know, that our grandmother died by suicide when my mom was 15. So it was something that I learned very quickly and was very worried about. Is this hereditary? Is this just what is expected to happen potentially to my aunts or to me and my sister? And I wanted to really know more about it, but at a funeral, it's not appropriate. I didn't want to hurt my family even more, so I just kind of kept quiet. We talked about my mom. My dad's great about making sure to continue talking about my mom, opening up about mental health as a family, but it wasn't something that I felt I could ask my aunts about their sister that they had just lost and about their mom that they had lost many years ago. So what I decided to do as a senior in high school, we were given the opportunity to do a senior project, and you could pick any topic that you wanted, and you had to present it to a board in order to graduate. So I decided to use the excuse for this project to dig into my family history. So I chose depression and what antidepressants can do for people who suffer from depression and other mental illnesses. So it meant that I had a reason to go digging into my mom's past. I had a reason to ask my family questions. I had a reason to call the police officer who had come to our house that day. I had a reason for all these questions, so it wasn't as invasive as bringing up all these old wounds to family and friends. And I wasn't expecting to find out what I found out, but I think it really helped me understand what mental illness can do to a person, and something that we don't really realize as often. I learned that my mom did far more for other people than I ever thought she did. She was a teacher for 27 years, and she brought all of our old clothes to school to send home with the elementary school students who didn't have clothing. She would pack them lunches from our food to send them home over the weekend when they didn't have meals, because she taught a lot of lower income students. They could come in on the weekends on her days off if she was there and have air conditioning, have books to read. And so we spent a lot of time at her school on the weekends, which I hated, but I didn't realize that's why we were doing it. I learned that the reason she had gotten a part-time job, which I thought she was just bored, was she wanted that extra money so that my sister would never have to want for anything. And that is probably one of the most selfless things that I ever thought, that I ever realized that I didn't realize as a kid. I learned that she had been seeing a therapist for quite a few years. Therapy, counseling was not something that was discussed in my family until after my mom passed. And I learned from her therapist, since it was no longer a violation of HIPAA, that she stopped going 2 weeks before she died. I also learned that her teacher friends who I interviewed had surprised her with tickets to her favorite singer. Anybody a Josh Groban fan? Oh yeah. It was her favorite singer. It played through our house for my entire childhood. I know every single song. And they surprised her with tickets to his show. She turned them down because the show was a month after she died. They asked her about a month and a half before she passed away if she wanted to go, meaning she had it planned. It's really scary to think that all of this was going on when me and my sister were just living our daily lives, because my mom was so good at hiding it. When people don't want somebody to know that they're suffering or they're sad or they have depression or really anything, if they want to hide it, they will. You will never be able to tell. And for the longest time, I questioned, should we have seen it? Should a 12-year-old be able to see a sign of depression? No. Should an adult? No. They're very good at hiding it if they don't want it to be seen. Are there ways to see it? Yes, if they give away something. But the guilt that surrounds some people who have lost a loved one to suicide isn't fair, because we love them to death, but if they are that determined to do it, you're not going to change their mind. My mom believed that telling anybody how she felt would essentially drag them down with her. She saw keeping all of her feelings inside as very selfless, and that telling anybody about it was selfish. She saw herself as a burden, and that's what a lot of people who do suffer from mental illness feel. She kept her feelings inside instead of asking for help until at one point they got too heavy, and in her mind, she was doing the favor by disappearing. A couple months after she passed away, I found a notebook in her handwriting that had a date and a number, and she did not tell anybody that her teaching license had expired, and she could not afford to renew it because of tax season. And so she saw her life crumbling around her, would not be willing to ask for help, and something to me that seemed so small was the end of her world. Mental illness is scary. There is no roadmap to it whatsoever. And because of the negative stigma that surrounds mental illness, a lot of people don't talk about it because they don't want their family and friends to see them as broken or different, or that their brain doesn't work properly. I was diagnosed with severe depression, high-functioning anxiety, PTSD, and just last year, ADHD. When I tell people that, I always ask them, do you think of me differently now that I've told you that? If so, there's the stigma. If you view me in any way, shape, or form different than you've known me the last 10, 15 years, then before, and then after I told you those things, that is the stigma. I'm no different. I'm the exact same person that I was 5 seconds ago before any of you knew that those labels were put on me. My mom, unfortunately, wasn't willing to look at it that way. She was too far gone, I believe, to find a support system like I have, to find organizations like NAMI that help give you the roadmap to those mental illnesses, to help find those support systems, and to help make you realize that there are millions of people in the world who feel potentially the exact same thing that you do, and that it's not wrong. When I was in college, I shared my mom's story with a creative writing class, and a few weeks after that, a friend of mine stopped by my dorm room to let me know that because of what I said, he wanted my help. The day before, he had taken a bottle of pills to try to kill himself and ended up throwing them up because he remembered what happened to me after my mom passed, and he didn't want to do that to his family. So I look at it as if sharing my story can help even one person, which it has, I will continue to do that for the rest of my life. So I'm very proud to be on the NAMI board, and I'll see you at the walk. So.
See, that's why we're going to miss you. Don't go. Olivia, it's her second year as walk manager, and it'll be my second year, so she's the reason you're stuck with me. She graduated with a BA in journalism. I did too. And mass communication with a certificate in leadership. I did not. When Olivia is not at NAMI, she has her full-time job working in project management at Piguet, who is an interior solutions company. I pronounced it right.
Yes, you did.
See, but if it was French, it could be Peugeot.
It could be Piguet.
She works at Peugeot. Ladies and gentlemen, Olivia.
Well, thank you everyone for being here today. I'm thrilled that you all have come to celebrate another incredible NAMI Walks event with us. After hearing from our speakers and President Wilson, it is essential for the success of our walk and organization that we get you all here together today to start off the 2024 season. So thank you so much for all being here. Sponsors, we wouldn't be where we are now without your unwavering support and advocacy for mental health. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for everything that you do. Members of the NAMI community, donors, and team captains, you have all persisted in supporting our top-tier programs with donations as well in various other capacities. All right, now to get into the fun stuff. As everyone is aware, our walk is on May 4th, 2024, and we will be walking at Terry Trueblood once again. Registration will open around 8:30 a.m. Food, drinks will be in the morning, so please stop by, introduce yourself, talk amongst the community, get to know a new friend, and enjoy our resource tables and activities displayed because we will have a lot. And also bring your dog, please. For performances, the Pumptastics, a fantastic group of local women, will dance alongside our band on Walk Day. Should you be unfamiliar of the Pumptastics, they are a senior group from the Senior of Iowa City, and they go around dancing for the community, and they are amazing if you have not seen them yet. So I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. Next, I wanted to talk about our recognition program and fundraising tactics. So please visit after this is over, the back wall. We will have samples that NAMI National had sent us and pick up a flyer to learn more about possible rewards for your fundraising efforts. And then next to all of that will be yard signs, posters, and other resources you can help promote the walk. For fundraising tactics, if any of the team captains are interested in hosting a restaurant night, bake sale, or any other idea, please come see me and we can help market those ideas for you. I also wanted to talk about employer match programs. If you or your contributors make a donation, kindly ask them if their employer would match the amount donated. I learned about this because my mom did it. So she donated $100, submitted it to her company, and it was quick, easy, and not makes the company so involved, but they still gave. So it's a great opportunity that a lot of people don't know their companies do. So just ask and it might work out. Lastly, if you have any questions about how to register a team, donor drive, anything of the above before May 4th, come visit me. We can chat, figure it out. And yeah, I appreciate you all taking the time to be here and advocating for mental health. Please get the dessert, mingle, do all the things. But thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.